Hello, Royal Heirs. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, welcome. So, this is kind of like a little health update. Today, I had a nerve study test. And so, I'm going to tell you everything about it. I have been having some nerve pain in my left arm and my left hand. So, my thumb and my first two fingers um, are missing feeling. I want to say maybe 50%. Like it doesn't feel like the rest of my fingers, and the pain started in my arm and went all the way down into my hand. So this has been going on for about 4 weeks, right? When it first started, it was excruciating pain. Like if anybody has had nerve damage, nerve pain, this was like excruciating. Like the pain is enormous and it's different, it's weird, it's like a burning sensation, it's painful, it's I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's like your arm, tingles, your hand tingles, it goes to sleep, you can't really wake it up. And so I was like, I have to tell everybody about this because this is crazy. Like I've never experienced it before. I've never had nerve damage or anything like that, but just to look up some information, right? A nerve study test, also known as a nerve conduction study or NCS, which is what I had, or nerve um, conduction velocity NCV, measures how well your nerves and muscles are working. Um, how painful is the conduction study? How the test will feel. The impulse may feel like electric shock. It does. Um, you may feel some discomfort. You will, depending on how strong the impulse is. You should feel no pain once the test is finished. Okay, so talking about the impulses, they vary. So my tech started at the very high velocity. It was the impulses were very high. Every time I felt an impulse I jumped. I was like, oh my goodness. And um, with this hand, my left hand, he went all the way up my arm. The higher he got up on my arm, the worst it felt. I was like, oh my God. And he kept saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And I'm like, I know, we have to get through this. He also did my right arm because they want to compare my left to my right. You don't get the results in the same day. I won't get my results until next week. So that is that's how it went. Um the difference between a nerve conduction test and an EMG. So you guys don't get mixed up with that. So an electro, what is it? Electromy, electromyogram. A EMG measures the electrical activity of your muscles when you are not using them or when you are at rest. And with this particular test, it's very hard, to rest. You do lay down. Now, when I got in there, he gave me these warm jelly bags, had like little, little circle, little dots or something in the bag or whatever. Pop it in the microwave, warm it up. And so I was holding those little bags in both of my hands before the test began. And so he was setting everything up while I was massaging my hands or whatever. So that's about the most rest you're going to get. And then he instructs you to lay down. So you lay down on the bed, whether you're in a hospital or you're in a doctor's office. I was in the office. So he stretches it out, you lay down, and you get about as comfortable as you can. And then if you've ever had an EKG or something like that where they, stick the little things all over, well, you have those little things stuck all over your arm and your hand, right? And as he shocks you, does the impulses with the little probe that has two endings on it. It's like a box and then it has two endings on it. And it's gonna, wherever he pokes, you're gonna feel it the most. And for me, with my left arm and my left hand, it was excruciating. I told my mom, I was like, if you ever want to know what being hooked up to an electric chair feels like, this is is it. So, when you tighten them, the muscle contraction, nerve conduction studies, or NCS, measure how well and how fast the nerves can send electrical signals. EMG and nerve conduction studies are often done together. So I didn't have to take the test with the needles, I just had to take the nerve study. So that's a little bit of the difference. They weren't really looking at my muscle activity. It was mostly my nerves and where it was coming from. Like, could my migraines be associated with, this condition? Is it coming from my neck? Is it coming from my shoulders? Is it coming from my back? Like, he also asked if they'd done any vision testing, uh, like an X-ray or anything like that. No, they may in the future, but right now, this is the first thing they wanted to do. Can you drive after you finish? Yes, you can do anything, of your normal activities, eating, driving, exercising, but before the test, okay, before you do the test, um, they tell you, and you can look this up online, just in case you forget. That's what I had to do this morning. You cannot wear deodorant, lotions, oils, perfumes, any of the things, because they have to stick those little, electro pads on you. And so you can't be greasy or oily. They didn't want you to put any deodorant on because they're going to go underneath your arm or whatever. Anything on the skin you cannot have on. So I took it with me so that I could, finish, getting dressed, so to speak, putting on my, lotion, my oil, whatever, my deodorant, perfume, whatever you do. So you probably want to schedule it as early as you can. Um, and they do have toiletries. Well, at least my doctor's office has, they have toiletries for you. So if you need any of that stuff, you don't have to take yours with you. They have that in the office, just in case. But I took my own stuff with me, so I didn't have to take any of that. So when you go in, depending on what you have on, they may tell you to put on a hospital gown. For me, it was just like my upper body, so I got to keep on what I had on. But you are instructed to wear loose clothing, just in case. So depending on where your pain is, if it's in your legs or your back or whatever, they may ask you to change clothes. Um, but I decided, well, I'll just wear, my maxi dress and a sweater. So when I got there, the only thing I had to do was take my sweater off. So that was good. That was good. You are awake. They're not going to put you to sleep or anything like that. How long does it take? Anywhere from 15 minutes to over an hour. Mine was about an hour. So it was, excruciating for about an hour. And I mean, like, all of it wasn't painful, you know, when he would shock you really lightly. It was mostly to see the actions of your fingers, your limbs, and so he would probably do a pulse here or a pulse in the palm of your hand, and then he checks your fingers. For me, it was these two fingers and my thumb. That's where he wanted to check, and I could barely, feel it. Even with the high velocity, I felt it, but it wasn't like, you know my regular hand, and they did find that strange because I'm right-handed. I'm not a lefty. I'm right-handed. So, but I did tell him that back in the day when I was a cosmetologist and I was doing hair, I was also playing the piano and stuff, and they did say that I probably had carpal tunnel syndrome, but I didn't have any surgery or anything like that. They did put my, hand in like a stent, like a little brace or whatever, but I still went back to work. So when I was working, I would just take it off, you know, which really didn't help much at all. But I do remember having to wear that for a while, and then I just, stopped wearing it because I didn't stop working and I didn't stop playing the piano. So um, I have insurance, so if you want to know how expensive it is, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. But I have insurance, so there was no cost to me, no copay or anything like that. Um, I didn't eat this morning. I had some coffee. Well, really, I had cocoa. It was just kind of half and half, or whatever, because I'm out of creamer and um, I only like hazelnut coffee, like hazelnut creamer. So I was like, I'll just make me, a mocha or whatever. Um, my test wasn't until 1, and so I wake up early nowadays for some reason. I don't know. But I wake up early, so I was up about 6:30, 7 o'clock, whatever. But don't drink anything with caffeine about 3 hours till your test. So, I had my, mocha early. I didn't eat any breakfast or anything. I didn't eat until after the test. I don't do, like drinking alcohol or, any of the things or whatever. So I didn't have to worry about any of that. But you don't want to do, anything um, like that until after the test. They didn't tell me not to um, eat, but you don't eat certain things. Anything with caffeine, anything high in fat, anything, anything that is not healthy. I live in the South. So when we eat breakfast. If you're gonna eat breakfast, so it's like, I'm not gonna, thaw out any. If I have frozen fruit in the freezer, I was like, I'm not gonna thaw out any fruit or anything like that. I'll just have my, my coffee, my mocha, and kind of, just chill out, watch some videos or whatever. Because the main thing is they want you to be relaxed. They don't want you to be upset, nervous. They don't want your blood pressure to be high, or they just want you to be, in a normal state, in a relaxed state. Um, So if you have anything that you think could be, nerve damage or anything like that, you definitely want to talk to your um, doctor about that. So Cleveland Clinic had a lot of information about the nerve conduction. You can also find, some videos on YouTube if the doctor allows you to, um, film in the office. Or some doctors may actually film it, depending on, um, if you're dressed or anything like that. And like I said, it just depends on where you're feeling the pain. Because for me, it's mostly in this arm and in this hand. Sometimes I do feel a little tingling in my right hand or whatever, but it's not like it is over here. So we want to get this done before the nerve damage, possible nerve damage, gets worse or graduates to another part of the body or whatever. They want to see what it is and how to stop it, and if there's anything I could do for the pain other than over the counter medication, which means trying to find the root of the problem. And that's what you want. Motor nerves, nerves that control your muscles and movements. Sensory nerves, nerves that carry signals to your brain about things you touch, taste, smell, and see. Um, like I said, I wasn't, they weren't focused on the motor nerves. For me, it was mostly sensory nerves. Um, and so this is great. But what is a nerve conduction study? So the study, again, diagnostic test that evaluates the function of your peripheral nerves. And NCS can help detect the presence and extent of peripheral nerve damage, which is what they were looking for in my case. So, your peripheral nerves are the nerves that lie outside of your brain and spinal cord central nervous system. So, that's kind of like, simply put, and broken down. So, anyway, that was my day. And then me and mom went to the grocery store. We got stuff to eat. They're having dinner at the church or whatever. So mom got stuff to cook. And then during all of this stuff, I found out that my daughter again has COVID, and my 3-year-old granddaughter has COVID for the second time. So this is why I say when you work around a lot of people or you're in customer service or something, wear a mask and keep hand sanitizer on you Definitely do elderberry every morning, and definitely keep some zinc on you. Take some zinc, vitamins or the lozenges, keep Theraflu. Um, not the Theraflu, but was it the airborne? Do something to protect yourself because you could get COVID mixed up with like your allergies or something like that. It's the worst thing ever. So I took a random test, negative. So I just took a random test because I babysat over the weekend. So my test is negative. Mom took a test. Her test is negative. So but they've been coughing and not feeling good. My daughter says she felt weird and stuff like that. So um go to covidtest.gov and they will send you 4 free COVID tests to your house. It's free of charge. covidtest.gov. And I will leave that in the description box if I remember, because you can get 4 tests into your house for free, and you can, swab yourself and take your, test, and make sure that you don't have it. If you think that you have COVID at any given time, this would be a good way for you to, check. But they'll only send you 4 at a time. So then when you like run out, you can order more or whatever. And so my mom went to a church event, and they had bunches. I don't know how you can get a bunch of free COVID tests for like your, church or anything like that, but they had all different kinds or whatever. But I'm sure there's, companies out there that can do that. But for at home, if you go to covidtest.gov, they will send you 4 free tests to your house. So, like I said, I'll try to remember that and put in the description box for you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys about my day and tell you about NCV, the nerve study, um, and what the test was like. If you guys are gonna have, a test like this, just be forewarned. For some people, it may not be so invasive. For some people, it may just be like a little buzz, just like a little, zzz, like a little, not even a shock, just a little, light feeling or whatever. For me, and I talked to somebody else. There's a lady that works at a store locally, and I was telling her, what I went through today, and she had a nerve study done on her, and she said the same thing. It was horrible. So I'm just saying. But if you think that you have nerve damage or a pinched nerve or a sciatic nerve or, anything to do with your nerves, and you're feeling weird, or, you're having to lay a certain way, or you can't raise your arm like you used to, because it feels like, you have a pinched nerve or something like that, anything to do with you not feeling normal, like my hands or anything, that you can't function normally, and you feel like it's your nerves, or even if you feel like it's your circulation. Because I thought, well, is my blood circulating properly? Is it slow? Like any of those types of feelings, ask your doctor if you need a nerve study. It can hurt, and it will definitely eliminate something. Um, if that's not the case, or, if you find out, yeah, it is your nerves, then you know where to go from there. So, just a little heads up, a little forewarning, a little FYI, and all of that. If you guys have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the royalty family, join the royalty gang. We would love to have you, and all that good stuff. And I'm going to get out of here and relax because I have had a weird day. And so I'm about to get out of here, and I'm about to relax and just chill out for the rest of the night. Um, and just, ponder and reflect, like, I have a week to wait until these test results are in. So, yeah, I'm just gonna, pray that this can be fixed, and, I can get back to normal, or, you know, come up with some options, or, some solutions, um, to where maybe I'll have a new normal, and this is the new normal, and this is how to deal with it. So whichever it is, if you are a prayer warrior, keep me in your prayers, and I'll do the same for you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.